because it's going on YouTube also and recording already.
So we are coming live and we are adjusting a couple of things before we start fully the talk. So please bear with us for a couple of seconds or minutes.
3 seconds only, yes.
Yeah. So we bring and broadcast the interview on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Crowdcast. So meanwhile, settle yourself, prepare your questions, center and breathe deeply. And I'm waiting for the yes go so we can dive into...
You are live on Facebook right now.
Perfect. Hearts greeting, my dear ones. We have an exciting day today, and I am Mathilde Lumiere Eliara from the Sisterhood of the New Light, held by the Ascension platform, which is a channel for spiritual awakening and ascension. Today, we are bathing into the divine frequency of our sacred feminine. And while we are waiting a little bit for you to join, perfect, it's coming slowly, slowly. So we are going to talk in depth and about the various aspects of the goddess rising and our feminine awakening with two beautiful and beloved sisters and guests, Amma Sophia Rose from Bali. Welcome, Amma, on the platform. And with Nada Love, I call her Nada Love, from Dubai as well. And they are beautiful sisters. Amma Sophia Rose is joining with us today with her gifted channel to voice out the key codes of the sacred feminine. Amma is a wisdom keeper of the womb, a beautiful alchemist, and Mama medicine Mama. Both way works for me as I'm French. And Nada Love is a world peace activator, and today we found out that womb peace activator is perfectly matching as well.
Yes,
so
before you continue, I'm going to share the link with you on Messenger and things so you can start sharing. Excuse us, guys,
so,
we're going to share it a bit. So
yes, so we will keep sharing the link before we fully dive in the topic, and allow us a couple of minutes, please.
So I'm going to share it on my end. So
before we talk extensively about the topic. So whomever is joining, welcome.
Also giving you a description for both of you on your messenger if you want to check and share it also quickly for both of you, and to send it to Amma also, she can share it.
So for all the lovely ladies that are going to join and are joining, this is the time for you to really go ahead and ask all the questions that you really want to know, so you can get answers straight from Amma Sophia Rose herself on the importance of a woman connecting to her womb, and the importance for a woman stepping into her truth, embodying her own power, embodying her own wisdom. This is a safe place for us to all connect. And we're really excited that this is happening. I myself have had my journey with Amma starting a few years ago. I can't remember. I just feel like I've known her my whole life. And it's completely transformational in terms of sensuality, in terms of femininity, in terms of power, in terms of, speaking my truth. On all aspects.
Okay, you need to go on the Ascension platform.
Okay, where do I go? I have this link. Should
share on public now? So you can share
this link?
Mm-hmm. Or you can go directly on Ascension platform.
Okay, and can you send it to Amma?
Yes. I can actually share it. Wait, did you send it to me as well?
Yes, you have it in Messenger.
Okay, so I have it on my page. Yeah?
Perfect.
And we can...
Okay, Amma, I'm sending it to you right now as well. And we are waiting to collect or to receive more women on the platform so we can start sharing. Okay, Amma, you have received the link. You can also share on your side.
You have 2 views right now. I'm going to
Probably
forward,
us. Okay, you can. So for the woman joining now, welcome and prepare your questions. Welcome to this safe space, uplifting space as well. And we are waiting for a second. Yes, go. No?
Yes, wait, one more time also.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, we can see here, like. People.
Yeah, we have on podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, love?
I'm still sharing some other places. You have
okay.
You have views. People
Perfect.
that are coming.
So
you can start talking.
Perfect. So welcome again, lovely sisters. I don't know where we need to bring ourselves back, as we have started a few minutes ago already. So welcome to this extensive and graceful talk around the divine feminine empowerment and embodiments, where we will talk around the womb activation and the womb mysteries, and also the retreat that is coming to you in Dubai in March with Amma Sophia Rose that is online and from Bali. Welcome, Amma, and thank you for this honor to have you here today and to discuss about your core, your gifts, and what you transmit for the feminine awakening on Earth right now. So would you like to start expressing or discussing around the feminine awakening? And because we have sisters as well behind the screen that are very new in their initiation, and it might be a good start to define or to start working or explaining the energies, especially the energies that are rising and coming forth now stronger and stronger.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure. What I'd like to share, something that's been close to my heart right now has really been the devastation that the world's going through. So a lot of women are really, we've been kind of in our little box, and we've been in a place of really like survival and living from a place of our own needs and desires and wants. And the world is actually showing us that there's a unification that is wanting to happen in order for us to survive as a species. So we've actually come to a place where, even though we can be in our little bubbles, where we're focusing to be seen, be heard, be experienced for who we truly are. And so as we tap into the womb, we start to recognize who we are beyond those programs. We start to connect to more universal truths beyond survival. And we begin to really see like how we are part of this earth and what our role is upon this earth, and how it relates to the cosmos and the universe at large. And so we begin to expand into a higher state of consciousness that actually brings us into more wisdom than we can ever imagine. So every answer that we have, every question that we have has the answer. And it is found within the universe of our constellation that is within our womb. In a lot of the elders speak of so is above is below, so is within is without. So if you were to look at the eye, and then you were to look at the eye of a nebula, it's the same thing. And it's the same. We are a part of this bigger creation, and we are a part of existence. And so when we go into the womb, very simple things that I've learned, from my womb and from my body, from my being, is how to connect with the earth. how to really truly be in alignment with the earth and to fully feel the earth. A lot of us have been out of our bodies. We've been living from our minds. We've been living from, you know, this place of the mental and belief systems and traditions and psychological imprints that are really destroying our world. And we're being asked as a collective consciousness to be more conscious and to actually be more aware of how our actions and reactions and how our footprint is being left upon this earth. You know, what is it that we are accountable for our existence? And so when we connect to our womb, we make choices that are not only for ourselves, but our future generations. They're for those that are going to come after us, like our children and our children's children and our children's children. And we haven't thought about that. In many, you know, in the last 200 years, and especially within the last 20 years, we have radically shifted and changed this planet, and not for the better. And so now we are being asked to really listen, to really pay attention to this feminine wisdom. And this feminine wisdom comes with creative energy. We are the creatrixes. We are the life-giving, life force matrices of you know, the matriarch. And our voice has not been heard. Our hearts have not been heard. You know, it has been said by many that if the women were in charge, we would not have starving children. We would not have war. We would not have all of these things, because our consciousness as a womb collective, not when we're over emasculated or in survival or we're in a space of deep trauma, but when we're actually in a place of love and creation and in the heart and connection to the womb, we come from this place of wanting everything and everyone to thrive. And this is just like the Mother Earth. The Mother Earth gives to us every day. She feeds us, she nourishes us, she cleans up after us. But we have been consuming far faster than she can actually give to us. And so slowing down, connecting with the womb, connecting with the presence of ourselves, with our bodies, with our environment, with our family, and really returning back to a place of natural nature connections. We then begin to see, you know, and not allow some of the agendas that are happening, you know, for people that don't have our best interest, that, you know, that are more into consumerism and more into making us into something that we shouldn't be, like plastic. You know, it's like the other day I went into a deep meditation. I went for a walk and I was on a beautiful island which has the womb cave, and I went to go speak to the mother. I went into the earth, which is a beautiful temple in the earth, to speak to the mother. And then afterwards, everything was so vibrant and it was so alive. And so it was like connecting with my womb and connecting with this womb temple. And I started to look around this beautiful island, and it was this gorgeous tropical island, so beautiful and almost untouched in its pristine nature, except for what do you think I saw when I went to the rivers and the oceans?
Yeah, this is beautiful. Thank you for sharing this extensive and expansive information. I love the fact when you say that the divine feminine is reconnected.
If you listen to what I was saying, it's what I was sharing is that when I went to the rivers and the oceans, there was plastic. There was plastic everywhere. And there was plastic in the oceans. There was plastic in all of the rivers, in this pristine land. This is what's happening to our bodies.
Yeah.
And so in women's everyday life, how they can utilize this information and this wisdom is to see on a conscious level what it is that we're doing to ourselves, to each other, and to our children. And so when we look at, go ahead, Mel.
And it's beautiful that, you know, when you look at it from a global perspective, because we are multidimensional and we are so much bigger than we are. And it's beautiful that when you look at the work of the divine feminine, it's not just about me, it's about the whole. It's about the unification of the entire planet, which will affect the entire galaxy. And that's how I feel as well. I wake up every day thinking, how can I contribute to make the world a better place for myself, for my sisters, for my family, for all the brothers and sisters on the planet, for our children, our grandchildren, and for the earth itself, and for the entire galaxy. There's a lot of people that still ask questions like, how can that benefit me? How will I improve as a person if I work on my womb? How can I, how will it help in my everyday life? So would you be able to share like how it helped you, how you got into this journey? I mean, I personally know how it's helped me, but I'm sure the woman would love to hear from you directly on, how they can embody this in their everyday life to excel.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if you look at it from being frank and being honest is we're actually not going to have a world if we don't connect to our womb. And I know that's very like, sometimes people, like, what? That's, they don't know how to comprehend that.
Yeah.
But because we've been so disconnected and because we don't understand, if each woman who was thinking to come to this course was actually to really look at herself and look at her life and really see, where she is, where is her family, what is happening in her life? Is there depression? Is there cancer? Is there what's running through her genes? What's running through her lineage? What's running through all of these places in her everyday existence? And I've worked with women all over the world. And what I've seen that happens in their everyday life is that they wake up and they start to see that what changes for them is the way that they perceive life and start living from a place of, I want to create from a place that will help the planet so that we have a planet. So that our children, instead of going into the computer and going into being, indoctrinated by all these different things, we have the conscious awareness to, give them a connection to nature. We start to feed our families better. We start to really, clean our system and heal our lineages for the 7 generations before, for the 7 generations to come. So it starts with the first step, and the first step is our vocal awakening. It starts with connecting with our womb and our creativity and recognizing what is our authentic expression. What do we want to express in this world? We didn't come here to be slaves and minions for, this machine just to consume. We actually came here to enjoy this earth. We came here to explore being with Mama Gaia, to be in a body, to feel. So to be on medications and to be on, all of these things that numb our senses. And, if our children have ADD and they have, all these different things, that are going on with them, it's cutting them off of the source. We came here to experience being nature, being natural. Nature and natural. And so when we connect to this essence of ourselves and we start to open up, and that's different for every single person. Every person, every woman out there has their own exploration of consciousness. So there's no right or there's no wrong. But what this does, what I hold the space for is for each woman to find what that truth is within. And the pace that they want to go within. But it opens up the channels for them to see what that really is. To see what's inside of my true heart's desire. What is inside of what I really have come to this. What is my purpose on this earth? And how can I use my voice to vocalize a life, to sing a life into creation, to speak a life into creation that is in resonance with what my system, my truth really is. And this, this opens the channels for a direct connection to source. So no longer, do we have to be bombarded by everybody else's agendas, from the simplest things of, Nada, when I first met you, just speaking your truth.
Yeah.
Just very just, speaking of the truth, what your heart really felt, creating boundaries. What are our boundaries? And how can we have boundaries with our womb when we expand the consciousness of our heart in connection with our creativity and our expression? It's like we don't have to be mean. We don't have to be, rude or anything. We just have this knowingness of truth. And we can simply say, no, thank you with every part of our being, because it's not in resonance with the field. And if the boundary and the truth of the womb and the heart is strong enough, we actually do not attract it into our lives. And so we don't even have to have the conversations, because we're actually emanating or vibrating at a different frequency. So when we connect with that truth and that dream that's inside of us, that creative, expression, and we start to access our emotions. I usually take people through a lot of emotional exploration. What are we really feeling? And why are we feeling these things? Sometimes, it's like we can be in a mood and we can be so angry and, we're so empathic. We're picking up all of these energies around us.
Yeah.
And it may just be a collective field. It may be, because there's going to be a volcano in Bali, or there's going to be a tsunami, or, and as being a part of this earth, we're feeling the collective consciousness. And as women with wombs, creators, we feel everyone and everything. And so it's really important to recognize, like, how can we fully align, with how to step forward in our path by having that connection, opening up our clairaudient, our clairvisual, our clairsentient, our touch, our sense, and our knowing. How can we open up all these channels so that we can protect our families, we can keep ourselves safe, we can heal our families, heal ourselves?
So it's all about like bringing back that connection, like being really connected back to the self, to the center, to the heart, to the womb, and have everything come from within. So all the guidance is from within on how to make the person's personal life a better place, and the collective space a better environment.
So exactly, and all your description is beautiful and very large, because it's also explained that the moment we recognize ourselves as a woman or empowered woman, we are reconnecting all our aspects, all our dimensions, reconnecting to Mother Earth as we reconnect to our family, or galactic families, our stars, the source, the one. So we are empowering and resonating even furthermore in our energetic fields. So there is this aspect, and as you said, is being in our truth, is trusting our truth, is owning our space, is valuing ourselves, respecting ourselves. And when it is done, when we realize it, all the life changes. The relationship are reflecting what we are vibrating inside. The work, the family, the place we are living in, the life is simply shifting to the highest vibration as we are embodying our feminine energy with unconditional love. So it's very beautifully said, and it feels like this excitement of, oh, I want to know more. So basically, how do you bring that teaching so the woman can reconnect to their core, to their selves, to their womb, their sacred temple, their place of creativity and creation and manifestation as well? What are you bringing to those women? How are you transmitting the ancient wisdom as well?
Because also, like, it's very important to see how fast and effective it can be, because the collective in many places is that, a woman has to be silent, a woman has to be quiet, a woman isn't important, or she's inferior, or the womb is actually looked at as a disgrace, like the menstruation time is annoying, or menopause is something that doesn't want to be dealt with, or a woman's pregnant and she's hormonal. And then all of this just shuts the woman down more and more and more, because it's accepted in the collective. So how is it that, this workshop is going to help women really connect back into their womb, and not like get their power back in terms of separation from the masculine, but more like collaborating and bringing in the healthy aspect of the masculine back into existence?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I've found and I've used for many different years is singing. And connecting through the frequency and the vibration of the womb. I was blessed to be given a voice of the Shekhinah, or transmission that also gets passed on. And so it's quite beautiful when we start. It's like when we start using sound, vibration, and frequency, working with crystal bowls, working with breath.
Amma, we interrupt you. You have a connection.
No connection.
Issue. Amma?
I'm here.
Amma?
Perfect. Your video is disconnected. Would you mind to check?
It's on my side.
Simply refresh, yes. And you are still on Facebook, but on the other channel, you need to refresh. So, and sisters on the other side, if you have questions to ask to Amma, to ask to Nada, to ask us, please post your question. We are in a buzzing state with all those energies from the moon as well, and this potent topic. So feel free to share. Amma, you are still not visible on. Yeah,
okay,
perfect.
She's back.
And you're back. Light is among us. Please proceed.
Okay, so yeah, it got cut off.
You were on the voice activation and tuning to the warmth through the frequencies of the voice, and Shakina talking and coming through you.
Okay. Yeah, so each one of us has a frequency, we have a sound, and we have a vibration. And when we can open up the channels to explore that, we can begin to heal a lot of different parts of our experience. Because the voice is the first thing that gets shut down, is the expression. You know, we start to speak our truth as a little child, and they say, you know, children should be seen and not heard. You know, children don't have a voice. You know, and so we explore deeply the emotions that are held within the womb, connected to speaking what we're feeling. And we also I work with light codes and do transmissions of the earth and of the womb, and help to bring in the frequencies as women breathe into a deep state to unravel and unwind all of the different tensions that are held within the body and all of the different pieces. So naturally what arises is that which is unlike love and has, you know, not allowed itself to be expressed or seen or felt. And so we use dance. Dance is one of the ways that, you know, we connect into a sacred space, connecting as a bridge of heaven and earth, and letting our body teach us through somatic movement and through connection with feeling the earth under our feet, feeling, you know, the way that you know, our body wants to create. Because when I first started doing this, I mean, just like others, you know, that I share with, I mean, I was the same. Like, I was afraid to hug people. Like, I was very guarded, you know, I felt very insecure. I remember the first time that I started to sing, and you know, my throat literally started to shut down. It was like so tight and tense, and, you know, and I realized that was my life. Like, I had not been able to speak my truth. I had not been able to share what I was really feeling. So I would put on a mask, and I would just be, you know, little Miss Fit In, you know, but deep inside there was an anger brewing. There was this resentment and this rage that actually nearly led me to suicide. And I was very overweight. And there was so many things that were occurring because I wasn't living the truth, and I wasn't being authentic. I wasn't truly showing up as my authentic self because I was terrified. And it was through this process, you know, the first time that I opened my arms, I remember like opening my arms to dance and singing, and I took up space. I really took up space, and I was like, oh my God, like, I have a voice, I have a body, I have a, you know, this expression. And what came through me with that, it was a very beautiful space that was held very shamanically, which is what I hold now. And it was like this space where I could uncover what was there. And when I started to experience what was there, it was actually through my travels around the world, I started meeting master teachers. And they were saying like, oh, I didn't know you could speak, you know, Iroquois, or I didn't know you could, you know, connect in with ancient Lemurian or Hawaiian, or, you know, and I didn't know either. Like, I had no idea, but my dreams started to open, the lucid dreaming, all of these pieces just naturally started to awaken. And it was through these, you know, practices of sacred sound, breath, meditation, and dance that just awakened so much inside of me where that connection could be made. And so it's become a part of my daily life, and I've been sharing this for over 15 years. And it's worked. You know, I have students all over the world, and I have women that are, you know, just blows my mind, like completely living their dreams, you know, experiencing a life that they never even thought existed, you know, but really truly beginning. And I have to say, like, for myself, you know, I can only speak for myself on a personal level, but, you know, I came from a very poor, you know, place where it was, you know, basically I didn't graduate from college, and I was told that I was never going to make anything out of myself, you know, and I was constantly bombarded with negativity and, you know, all these things. And now people who said that to me, you know, family and different things like that, they look at me and they're like, how do you live this life where you completely go anywhere you want in the world? You know, you speak and you say exactly what's on your mind. You share exactly who you are. Like, you know, you have no inhibitions to just be you. And it was through this. It was through these tools and techniques that I learned in these 15 years, you know, that really helped me to live this life, and right down to the healing of my physical body. You
and
know,
it's so powerful. I remember I used to be in that box where I never knew how to say no. I was a people pleaser full time. I had to just, you know, I had to just accommodate everybody and everybody's needs and everybody's wants. And as a woman, I felt that it was my job or my role to make sure everyone was nurtured on my account. And then I actually went. Actually, I had a visitation from the Virgin Mary, and she put a dove in my throat, and she guided me to go to the sound alchemy. And I went to Amma's retreat in Bali. I remember the first 5 days, I wanted to leave. I was crying every night. I was screaming. And I did not realize how much conditioning there is in the throat that for me at least, it was like I could not express myself. I had to say what everybody wanted to hear, all of that. And then after the 5th day, I had a breakthrough where I started singing, I started expressing. And after that, I've been practicing also on a daily basis. And what I realized, when you activate the throat, everything gets activated.
Exactly.
The boundaries get activated, and boundaries are everything. Like, people ask me, how can I have a nice love life, Nada? How can I make more money, Nada? How can I be happy, Nada? It's all about the boundaries, because the way you set your boundaries is the tone of your life. And the boundaries cannot be set if you don't activate your throat fully. You know, setting boundaries without feeling guilty, without feeling shameful, setting boundaries like with pure, like, this is who I am.
Exactly. And
the throat is the first place to start. Yes. So in this retreat that we're coming, you're going to be activating voices and activating throats for the women?
Yes. Yeah, because the throat is directly connected with the womb. So we birth. So if you look at the birthing canal, the birthing channel, when we're first the cells, you know, doubling to create life, you know, it's the same cells that are in the throat that are actually down in the womb and below. And so when we open up this channel, we birth in our physical world. When we open up the lower channel, we birth a child. So we're birthing, you know, from this way, or we're birthing this way. And so this piece is very crucial. It's actually the bridge to creation. And so when we connect with our womb, we connect with our creation center. What do we want to create in this reality? You know, some of us don't even know. You know, some people that I work with, they don't even realize they have a womb. So that's the first.
It's numb. Like it's just numb, like it's sleeping.
And we have questions regarding the womb. We have 3 questions from the same person. So does our womb health is a reflection of our relationship with others and ourselves? And does our womb health affect our relationship with people and ourselves? So very similar questions. So how does the womb health affect our relationships and our life?
Yes, the womb health is when we're disconnected from the womb, we're disconnected from our emotions. So we're disconnected from how we feel. And so the health of our womb, like, you know, one example I can give, if there's, you know, been an abortion, or there's been a miscarriage, or maybe someone has cancer inside of the womb or something like that. This is all a reflection of how we're denying our femininity. one of the ways that I can say is like, you know, I was very over emasculated for a long time. And I really did not like having a womb. And I didn't realize that until I went into one of these breathwork processes. And I started to realize that I was denying my womb because I didn't want to be feminine, because feminine was just treated like crap, you know, and the masculine was always idealized, and he was always put on a pedestal, and he always got all the opportunities, and, you know, and I was denying my womb. And so therefore, you know, my womb, you know, I'd have like bad periods or, you know, different things like that. And it wasn't until I started to embrace my womb that I started to nurture and be in love and devotion with my womb, and healing with my womb, seeing my menstruation as the sacred connection to the earth, and this, you know, sacred ability for me to connect, that it changed my perception. So a lot of times when, like, you know, for example, when a woman gets sliced from a cesarean, you know, right now doctors are not allowing, you know, natural births for many reasons. You know, it's like, oh, you know, mostly it's inconvenience for them. It's convenient for them to, you know, to do a cesarean because they can schedule the birth, you know. And so what this does is it cuts us right in the center of our womb. It cuts off our hara, our connection. And it takes us 7 years to 10 years of recuperation of energy and to build our connection back. And this fascia, the tissue and everything, it starts to get, you know, really, really hard. And this creates this disconnection from us and the earth. And so we have to consciously work to reconnect with that and reconnect with our relationships. A lot of times women go through postpartum depression. They go through many, many different emotional things that affect, you know, how they rear their children or how they feel, which then creates guilt and shame, you know, and it's all many, many different things. But also when we have relations with other people, like relations with men that do not respect us, when we have relationships with men that are not honoring of our womb, that energy stays inside of our system. And when that energy stays inside of our system, you know, if it is in a way that is not honoring to us, and we have like rejection of that, that's when we develop, you know, cancer cells. That's when we develop all kinds of you know, negative emotions towards that. And if we don't release those, if we don't move those, then they develop into disease, disharmony. And so, go ahead.
And it takes us back to what you were saying in the beginning, like the world is the way it is because of the collective of how we are. And then it comes back to every single person's own responsibility of their contribution. And the more we're disconnected from our wombs, oh, wow, interesting, fun. So the more we're disconnected from the wound in our womb so we can heal it, the more disconnected we are from everything around us. Mm-hmm. So when we connect back to our wombs and heal the wound in the womb, we're going to bring harmony in almost every aspect of our life. So our relationships will get better. Also relationship with women, not just our love partners. Like, you know, the sisterhood is medicine. Exactly. And we have been, you know, conditioned to like be jealous of one another, to look at each other, to compare, to all this stuff. And once you heal your womb, our wombs start connecting with one another. And then the sisterhood is established, and it's authentic, and it's real, and it's unbreakable. So to answer Rima's question, you know, it healing the womb is healing everything. Healing your relationship with yourself, healing your relationship with others, healing relationship with the planet. It's a ripple effect.
It's trusting yourself back as well. And as we are saying very beautifully as well, when we reconnect with our womb, we recreate that network of medicine mama around the world, like the trees in the forest, they are naturally connected, and we are reconnecting. And through that connection, there are massive vortex opening for the feminine awakening. It's very important to mention it. Only in gathering as well between women. So for example, at the retreats, bringing the sisters together, it's super potent. The energy are coming through, the goddess are coming through, the transmission is coming through, reactivating in that field of resonance the codes and releasing the old programs, transmuting the patterns, and as you were saying, healing the wounds.
And I feel like it's time that, you know, every woman takes responsibility of her own womb.
Yeah, ownership.
There's a lot, like as women also, we've been conditioned to complain. we've been conditioned to play the victim role. Oh, this is happening to me and that's happening to me and I'm helpless and I can't do anything about it. But that's really a very old paradigm, and where I'm seeing things like it's every woman's responsibility to take charge of her own womb, heal her womb, connect, establish this foundation within herself so she can bring harmony everywhere she goes, and no longer be in that victim role or helplessness, etc., and really step into her power and voice it.
And to trust herself and to be in that flow.
It's all about self-trust.
Existence. Yeah. So that flow to transmute, that flow to create. It's a magnific. Yeah. It's. I will say whomever is coming to our way as well showers and womb activators or wisdom keeper. Every woman coming, it's reconnect to your womb. Come and talk to her. Come and talk to your heart as well. Reactivate that channel, and the throat to the womb, as you say, voicing the words,
so
manifesting through the frequency that we can hear. Everything is connecting the cervix to the throat, and it's super beautiful. And in the retreat, that will be the voice activation, reconnecting the bridge, as you said, plumbing and clearing the womb, the pattern, and doing it with sisters, being received, being heard and supported. There will be a massive support for the woman coming. They will be in that safe space to taking ownership, taking responsibility, and also to release and to surrender to the process of their embodiment. And that's all the magic of the womb.
And also it's important when you want to heal your womb, because it's, for me at least, it's such a sensitive subject. You know, a lot of women don't voice out their sexual abuse. A lot of women don't voice out everything that's happened to them. And to be with someone that's already been through so much, like for me, Amma you've been doing this work 25 years?
No, 20 years, but 15 the womb work, yeah.
20 years. So when I went and I started working on my womb, because of all the stuff that's happened to me as a woman living in a very patriarchal society and all the stuff that's happened, I wouldn't feel safe expressing myself or allowing all the release to take place so my womb can flourish like a flower. But in her presence, the space that she holds is a very safe temple for women to feel that it is okay for them to express. It is okay for them to release. It's okay for them to go back and connect.
Yeah, and I also experienced Amma transmission in Bali a few months ago. It was a beautiful Unisteam ceremony, and that was magical. For those who knows me, I'm all about frequencies and light codes and transmission, and bathing into that vibration, and that code was a bliss. And
I remember.
And ecstasy. And I'm still talking about it to whomever is connecting to the sound and to the voice. And that was a super experience. And some pathways unlocked. So it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. And the Yoni team will also be shared and facilitated as well in March, right?
There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to take place, and it's going to be very dynamic. So I believe, Amma, do you want to share about what you're going to be bringing to Dubai for the women here?
So Dubai on the 16th,
it's the 16th, 17th, and 18th.
In Dubai.
Yeah, in Dubai. And then, maybe let's talk about the retreat and what's actually going to be shared for the women here.
With all your magic, both of you.
So what I'd like to share is to share how we can connect with the womb. So we'll be working with breath work, and we'll be working with sound alchemy. So you'll be in a receptive state to lie down and receive the transmissions while breathing and doing a womb pulsing. So that's one of the things that came to me, is a very specific breath work that works with clearing the psoas nerve and also releasing a lot of trauma that has been held in the womb, or a lot of emotions, or, different things. And trauma can be different for every woman. It doesn't always have to be, it could be, maybe your first time connecting, with a man or someone entering into your womb was not a good connection, and it left fear, or it may not have been a rape or something like that, but it was not in an honoring space. And so from then your womb shut down, or or your voice shut down, or different things like that. It could have been shame around your womb, whatever the situation is. we'll be utilizing what I like to call the sacred soul reveal. So we'll be doing partner work, you know, where we connect in with each other and we really share on a deep level, you know, what we feel about our womb, where we are at with our womb, and really going deep into that, you know, really seeing and experiencing and feeling what's there. We'll be using dance as a movement meditation and somatic healing. So dancing through the chakras and moving the energy to connect. We'll be doing yoni steams, which will be a womb clearing and a womb releasing, and also a physical womb clearing. And so that will go in and will clear past lovers or past partnerships, you know, even relationships that are no longer serving, that have been lingering, any abusive situations, basically any debris that you've gotten through your life.
And I find that this is a very, very, very important and so beneficial exercise for every woman, because like we said earlier, like the womb is the portal of energy. So if we have energies of past lovers or any energy like connected to our womb, it's actually draining us. It's actually connecting and sucking out our energy,
creating disturbance.
Yeah. So this is very important. Yeah.
And we'll be doing exercises to see how we feel about ourselves, you know, how we feel about our body, and to come into more self-love of our physicality, to really, you know, begin to embrace, you know, through connected touch, just really, you know, feeling our body with women, to just really also help them to awaken to consciousness of how we're feeding our body, how we're nurturing our body, and what we're taking into our body, and how that affects our moods and our hormones and the way that we move energy. We'll be doing a vocal activation and awakening, where we'll go into a shamanic practice with drums and rattles and different things to be able to move energy and share our emotions and clear a lot of things, letting our voice be heard. And then we'll alchemize that into higher consciousness with working with crystal bowls and bringing in the frequencies that really transmute that energy. So taking the lower vibrations and transforming them into the higher vibrations. I will offer a symbol that you can use, similar to a Reiki symbol, but this symbol, I call it the creation symbol. And this symbol is the bridge of heaven and earth, and how you can activate that within your own heart, and how you can really use your heart, your womb, to have your knowingness of, it's like the womb is the creation center. It's like the wisdom of the gut knowingness. And the heart is the transmutation station. So the heart is how we show up in the world, you know, how we move in the world. And when something comes at us, how we alchemize that through love, you know, and then we can, you know, bring it out, you know, through the throat. So that's why when it comes up from the womb into the solar plexus, into the heart, and then out through the voice, that's our creation. So we'll do a lot of exercises to help bridge that heaven and earth, how to bring forth that connection. I work a lot with dreaming as well. So we'll go into understanding the Akashic records and the Akashic field, and how we're connected to nature and the source of all. And we'll be speaking some light language and going into some accessing your own light codes, you know, really being able to tap into your own light codes and trading and sharing those with each other, which is one of my favorite things to do. I actually love that.
just with you sharing what's gonna happen, me and Mathilde are here. We're like, yeah,
we feel it. Yes, it's so complete. It works. So it will be 3 days working on the physical energy, the vital energy, the spiritual energy, your light body energy, your reconnection with Mother Earth, with all your channels, with your heart, your womb, with your galactic families, the source. It's super complete. The clearing, the cleansing of your past selves, of your ancestors, and recreating and rebirthing yourself in your new presence, in your new energy to manifest upon what you are rebirthing. This is magical. There is full downloads right now.
Yeah, I feel it.
Like we feel the buzzing of the
devotional practices. Exactly. So how to be devotional to the Mother Earth, but also to each other. So we'll do some really deep sisterhood connection practices and loving, nurturing, you know, really beautiful ceremony to honor each other.
Yes, as you said at the beginning, this is an individual work to remember that we are the only one to do that work, but it's together that we are doing it. This is in unity, in harmony.
It's all about collaboration.
Exactly. So a woman, I would say from my perspective, cannot fully awaken if she is not connected to her sisters. Yeah. If there is no other woman with her also supporting her. So it's like doing it together. And those circles, those retreats are magical.
And if you look at it, you know, one of the things that, if you look at it from a beautiful perspective of like, you know, most of what's happening in the world is being led by the feminine. We are the teachers for our children. We are the teachers for community. We are the teachers, you know, we are the consumers. We are the ones that are buying the food for our family. We are creating the homes. We are, you know, so we have a lot of power and we have a lot of ability to change at the way that the marketplace moves to and the way that life is created. And so when we're more conscious about it and we're more supportive of each other, you know, one of the things that I was able to overcome, and, you know, I'd like to say that I was part of the pioneering of this movement of the divine feminine, because when I first started 20 years ago, you know, like they'd look at me like I was crazy, and I had these headdresses of the goddess, and I was wearing wings and dancing.
I can so picture you.
And I could send you pictures. It's really funny. We were looking at them the other day. But it was a statement that I was, you know, making to honor the feminine. It was a bit over the top, but it was what needed to be because it was so repressed at that time. And I remember even in the sound healing arena, in the sound healing field, it was a boys will be boys. You know, it was like the boys were the ones that were doing it all. They weren't inviting us. And so I actually started to teach the women, and I started to share all of the tools that I had, because the old model was, you know, the shaman that would work with the people and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, no, the mother said, no, the way to do this is to teach the women that it is in themselves and how to access that, and to bring it to every community, every home temple, every place in the world. And that's how it'll activate and spread. And the other thing she told me that was super important was that the way of the circle is the way of the feminine. So there is no head, there is no hierarchy. We all have something to teach us. And when we come together, our constellation of wisdom, and we get to put the pieces together for each other. So we get to hold this container where we support each other, because every woman has a different perspective of how she sees the world. So in places like for myself, frequencies that I don't carry, like I work really well with really powerful women, you know, and there's certain frequencies that may not land with everybody. And so if I work with other women who have that as well, it's like we can cover all the bases, because people are going to, you know, some people may have an aversion to me, but they may just totally resonate with Nada, or they may totally resonate with you. You know, it's a different thing. So it's like we could all say the same thing, but we hear it from a completely different perspective. And when it lands, it will land deeply within our soul, partly because of our soul contracts and soul constellations. You know, I may remind somebody of their mother, and, you know, they hate their mother or something like that. So I'm there to trigger the, you know, the experience so that it can rise. And then, you know, Nada comes in to smooth out the rough edges, you know.
A breakthrough. Like there's always a breakthrough for every single woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when we work together in that way, we can get further, and the movement can move further, and our voice can be heard louder, and, you know, we can really come out and share, and change can happen faster.
And I find that yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that was complete.
Okay. And I find like this is like the beginning and the end of everything, because for me it's like when a woman activates her womb and connects with herself, and then starts connecting with her sisters around her, and creates this like community of love, and community of support, and community of listening to one another to give birth to a better place, a better community, etc. But these women also have children. And then, you know, they will raise their children in a way where they can be heard and that they can be authentic and they are accepted for who they are. And it is unconditional. And then these women that, you know, really connect and you know, embody this path, they have lovers. And then most men have been taught that it's not okay to feel and it's not okay to speak your truth. And you know, men have to be like this heartless warrior that goes through life, and it's very heavy for everyone. So, you know, it's a domino effect. It's a ripple effect. And yeah, it's like the beginning of world peace for me. That's how I see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's rebirthing a new earth.
It's rebirthing a new earth.
It really is. And I'm really excited that you'll be hosting as well, my beloved. And, you know, sharing with the men and sharing this heartfelt connection and honoring of the feminine and how to honor that within themselves. How to honor their emotions, how to honor, you know, what they're truly feeling. Because essentially, we are actually all born feminine. We are all born with our creative center in the feminine, and then it turns either masculine or feminine in the dualistic state. And so when men have the opportunity to connect with their creation center, with their nurturance, and they recognize that they are here to support the light of creation. They're to be that directive energy that helps to, you know, bring our visions, our, you know, dreams and everything to creation. Because we can have, you know, all the creative ideas in the world that we want. You know, we can want to have a baby all we want, but what do we need to have a baby?
Yeah, that masculine.
You need that experience to explode, you know, that cell, that egg inside of our body to create life. Exactly. And so when we come together as women and we get out of these like petty survival, because, you know, when we go into survival and we're cheating on each other as women or men, and we're doing this and we're disrespecting the womb, you know, because be not mistaken, you know, every person that you connect with, you know, every person that connects with you is going to be a part of you. And so, you know, especially when we're speaking, you know, physically. And so when we start to recognize that everything we do, we're doing to ourselves. And so the way that we treat one another is the world that we're going to live in. So if I respect and I honor you and I cherish you because I respect and honor and cherish myself, I'm going to want you to succeed. I'm not going to be jealous of you. I'm not going to be, you know, that's all survival. That's all old world mentality. And this has come from this competitive vibration and frequency of disconnection from the world. What do we need?
Yeah. And
you know, I mean, people do we see who have millions and millions of dollars who have, you know, everything that their hearts could have desired, and they're miserable.
Very true. So it's all about coming back to the body, coming back to the earth.
Loving ourselves. It's about loving ourselves more so we can love others to the same extent that we are loving ourselves. And as you said, everything is a projection of what we think about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves. So each time we are meeting someone, it's simply the mirror. And if there's something that comes out of alignment, is what am I projecting on my sister? What am I projecting on my brother? And to come back there inside, taking the ownership of it and working through it again in reconnecting to ourselves. So this is totally true and vibrant as well. And it's beautiful the way you bring it, both of you. It's superb. It's superb.
I'm super excited.
Me too.
We have questions.
Okay, let's go through the questions.
We have beautiful sisters asking for details about the retreat, dates, maybe the agenda as well of how it will.
Yeah, let's go through that. Happen. So everybody watching that's interested to come, we have a few spots left, and the retreat is going to be taking place on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of March. It's going to be placed in a center called Just Be in Jumeirah. I can send you all the details. Get in contact with me. You can contact me on Facebook. You can contact me on my Dubai number. I'm going to share it with you right now. It's 055-616-4465. and then I can share all the details with you by email. So what's going to happen is Amma's going to be sharing with us everything that she just spoke of, but not just in theory, but in how to embody it in our everyday life, and how to actually release anything that's stopping us from being in our truth, being in our power, connected to our womb, establishing this community of sisterhood, etc. The retreat has a fixed price. However, we've decided that anybody that comes after watching this video with Amma will be getting the early bird rate, which is 2,800 dirhams. And this fee will be paid at a one-time payment. It includes the lunches, it includes the breaks, and it includes a gift that we're going to be creating in the retreat called a mala. So everyone's going to be having their own mala done. Yeah. I think that's about it when it comes to the details. And then all the actual information of what's going to be taking place in the retreat, if you want to see it written and want to review it again, you can go into the actual event on Facebook, and then you'll have everything written down. So it's all the ancient mysteries. Yeah, go ahead. So it's the ancient mysteries.
I'm not going to lie that I will burn that itinerary. So if you're truly attached to different things like that, I've been known to really change things up. And part of the reason that I do that is because the following of the womb is following your intuition. So I really want to with people that
when I got here in the morning, Mathilde was like, "Oh, Amma's not online yet." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And Mathilde was a bit like, "Oh my God, but we're gonna be on." I'm like, "No, I got used to it." You know, like it will just work out.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that's very important to me with people that come to work with me, is that I want to be very authentic, and I want to work with you in your group, and I won't know what to offer you completely until I actually meet you, till I feel you, until I see what are the things that are arising for you.
Very true.
So if there's an expectation, if you've got a lot of control issues, if you've got a lot of things that, you know, a lot of things that are there, just really, I want you to feel into your wombs. And I want you to feel, this is your first exercise, is like feel into your wombs.
Do that. How do we feel into our wombs? Let's do it. So like,
yeah, just take a moment. One of the easiest ways is just to feel your heart and just soften by letting the shoulders just relax. And just taking breaths with the mouth open. And just simply just asking, is this retreat, is this experience in my highest and greatest interest? Mm-hmm or uh-uh. Mm-hmm or uh-uh. And I'll just ask the question, is this retreat with Amma Sophia Rose and Nada Harb, is it in your highest and greatest interest? And just see how your body feels. Does it feel receptive? Does it feel like it wants to join? Is there a knowingness there? What's arising within you? And we're going to sing, I'm going to sing a little, just a little prayer of the womb so that we can connect in with that energy. So just take in a deep breath. Continue to feel your womb in your heart. Acknowledge your mind if it's there. And just see what's arising for you in your physical body. Now as we begin to connect back in, yeah.
I want to stay in that space.
Me too. We can.
One of the things that, I really want to share from my heart is that has been really, really deeply respecting myself, respecting the women that I work with integrity and honor, is just really stating up front, I cannot fill a bottle that is already full. So if you come and you have agendas and you have, all of these ideas and stuff, it's like you're going to resist what's there. So if you can take a moment, to really recognize that I'm here to help you to become more open, to become more receptive. This is the feminine energy, is the receptivity. To be able to flow with the natural states of nature. To be able to be in the present moment, to listen to the earth, to listen to each other, and to fully feel in that moment. This is a co-creation that we are going to be creating with our constellations together. In each one of your stories, each one of your perceptions is going to be a puzzle piece that's going to heal the collective. So each one of you are very valuable in what you bring forth. Each one of you are very valid. And I want to give you space to be heard. And I want to give you space to be seen. And so the reason I say, most of the time I burn up the itinerary is because in the ancient ways of really being present with each other, we follow the fluidity of the energy. And we learn how to be in that state. And we let go of these preconceived notions and these ideas and expectations, and we become completely present with what is in the moment. And I can promise you, from the knowingness, from the depths of my soul, and from witnessing it for, the last 15 years, your life will shift. And these gifts that will be imparted to you from the divine, from the sacred feminine wisdom of the goddess, will be with you forever. Whether it comes in a resistant way where you're just like fighting it and, not wanting it, or you're in a completely open samadhi and, totally blissful way. The journey's up to you. The choice is up to you. How will you receive these wisdoms? Because right now the earth is sharing it with you. I'm just a voice that's reiterating what she's already saying in your heart and in your womb.
And you are being heard and received, and the energy is flowing gracefully. We have sisters joining the retreat and confirming it online. So
awesome.
This
Manisa.
is beautiful
Hi, Manisa.
confirmation as well. This is superb. And yes, let's connect, all of us, connecting back and thoroughly with Mother Earth as well. And as you said beautifully, our constellations and families. And ladies, sisters, it's a time for you to step into your body, to love yourself, to love your life, to love your body as well, of course, and to step in it fully in your embodiment. And we are looking forward to welcoming you in March, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Please, if you would like more information, connect with Nada directly or coming back to the platform with Ascension platform.
There's so many ways to get in
exactly.
touch. Yeah.
You cannot miss us.
Yeah. and like Amma said, like, I love it. Like everybody, every single woman, every single man, everybody has a piece of wisdom inside them that is part of the puzzle or part of the bigger picture. And once it's expressed, we really step into like bringing heaven on earth.
Exactly. We all have a uniqueness, and coming together is creating this magnificent bouquet of fragrances and colors and shapes, and all is unified in one heart. So,
one womb.
One womb.
One womb.
One womb heart, of course, one womb. So come together, and we are looking forward to hearing from you, and Amma and Nada are looking forward to welcoming you and facilitating for you and holding the space for your transformation.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
joining and bringing your beautiful presence among us and sharing your magnificent work. You are too far from us right now, but you are in the heart right now. So thank you, Amma. And if you have questions following the transmission and the talk, feel free to share. If we have a lot of questions, let's do another talk.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
And we wish you a beautiful day. And if you have a last word to share, if not, then we will leave.
I just look forward to coming and being with you all and reconnecting with some of the sisters if we have from the last retreat. You know, it was so fun and I really enjoyed it. And so I'd love to see your faces and just give you a hug and just really go even deeper than we did before. So thank you so much. And thank you so much, Nada, and thank you, sweetheart, for hosting this, and just really both of you for being so present and so gracious with this. I'm super grateful for you and your support and your love to bring this message out. Thank you.
Thank you.
All together, we love you.
We love you.
And see you very soon. Bye, love.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So, women of Dubai, we are so excited. Talk to you soon. See you soon.
The details soon on the links and for everyone to know the details.
Yes.
So, see you.
Bye-bye. See you
Bye.
all. We love you. Bye.
Oh.
Yes.